Russia has expelled 2 British diplomats after accusing them of what they've described as intelligence activity, giving them 2 weeks to leave the country. In the last few minutes, the Foreign Office here has responded by accusing Russia of making malicious and baseless accusations against their staff. In a statement this morning, Russia's Federal Security Service, the FSB, said the following. During counterintelligence work, the Federal Security Service of Russia has uncovered an undeclared intelligence presence of Great Britain under the cover of the National Embassy in Moscow. The FSB of Russia has uncovered signs of intelligence and subversive work by these diplomats, threatening the security of the Russian Federation. Well, let's get more on this from our Moscow correspondent, Ivor Bennett. Ivor, quite the statement there from Moscow. What exactly are they accusing the UK of?
Well, they're accusing this pair, this one diplomat and the spouse of another British diplomat here in Moscow, of spying, essentially. They've been stripped of their diplomatic credentials and given 2 weeks to leave. In that statement you heard there from the FSB, the pair were accused of intentionally providing false information when they entered the country, which is an offence under the Russian constitution, and also apparently of showing signs of intelligence and subversive work. But that's all they said. There is no evidence whatsoever to back up these claims. We haven't heard from the British side yet, but I'm sure when we do, the Foreign Office will push back pretty strongly, as they have done when there have been previous expulsions like this. And as with previous expulsions, a representative of the British Embassy here in Moscow was summoned this morning to the Russian Foreign Ministry to essentially explain themselves, designed to create, I think, a real spectacle that the Russians like to make the most of, because in footage posted on social media here, there were camera crews and TV reporters from Russian state media waiting outside the Foreign Ministry for this British official to arrive, and they were there when he left as well, questioning him. And this footage will be splashed all over the television bulletins here today, throughout the day, because it serves a purpose. And that purpose, of course, is to cast Britain and the Europeans more generally as the enemy, out to attack Russia. It is a line, a narrative that the Kremlin has been peddling and pushing ever since Russia invaded Ukraine 3 years ago. And this is a way of continuing to try and shape the public opinion here. In many ways, it comes as no surprise. This is the 3rd diplomatic expulsion of British officials in the last 6 months. It's part of a wider tit-for-tat exchange that's been going on for a number of years between Moscow and London. And this one, why now? Well, it comes only a few days after 3 Bulgarian nationals in Britain were convicted of spying for Russia. So I think we can see this as a reaction to that. But it also comes as Russia and the US apparently try to reset their relations, the start of an apparent rapprochement, and as a result of that, Britain, of course, has been elevated to the status of public enemy number 1, and this latest wave of expulsions is a way, I think, of trying to reinforce that image in the Russian national psyche.